After his 5th shift of the day, Noah Carter stood outside a private lounge, with chemical cleaner still soaking through his shirt and warehouse sweat drying on his neck. Through the door, he heard crystal glasses clinking like a celebration he was never invited to. Then he heard her voice, Madison Blake, his ex-wife, laughing loud enough to cut through the wall. She was telling her friends that the debt was handled, that all she had to do was say the right words, and Noah would work himself half to death. Then she said it, personal slave. Noah didn't move. Noah Carter had not always been a man who worked 5 jobs. There was a time when he held one steady warehouse position, came home at a reasonable hour, and slept without setting 3 alarms to make sure he didn't miss the next shift. But that was before the divorce, before the promise, and before Madison Blake turned his guilt into a payment plan. The marriage had lasted 4 years. The debt it left behind was already going on 2. When they split, Madison told him the finances were tangled credit cards in both names, a car loan she couldn't cover, alone medical bills that had piled up during the last year of their marriage. She said she just needed time. Noah, still carrying the weight of a failed relationship he believed he could have saved, told her he would help until it was cleared. He meant it as a decent ending. He didn't realize it was only the beginning. By the time he was standing outside that lounge on a Thursday night, Noah's daily routine had become something most people wouldn't believe. He started at 4 a.m. at a distribution center on the east side of town, loading pallets until 8. From 9 to 1, he drove deliveries for a logistics company that paid by the route. Afternoons were split between janitorial work at a commercial building and restocking shelves at a hardware store. His 5th job, the one that usually ended around 10 at night, was cleaning floors and bathrooms at a fitness center 3 blocks from his apartment. 5 jobs, no days off. Every direct deposit, every cash payout, every bit of overtime, most of it funneled into a joint account that Madison still had access to, or sent directly to her through transfers she requested with increasing frequency. During the marriage, they had shared login credentials on nearly everything, and after the divorce, Noah never thought to change them. Madison still knew his passwords, still had his banking app synced to her phone, and Noah never questioned it because he trusted her. Noah didn't question it at first. He was too tired to question anything. When a man works 18 hours a day, his brain stops analyzing and starts surviving. He ate cheap, slept short, and kept moving because stopping meant thinking. And thinking meant confronting the possibility that none of this was leading anywhere. Madison called once or twice a week, sometimes more. Her voice always carried the same rhythm, soft at the start, urgent in the middle, and just fragile enough at the end to make Noah feel like walking away would be cruel. "It's just a temporary thing," she would say. "We're almost through the worst of it. Just a little more, and I'll be clear." Noah never asked to see the numbers. He trusted the woman he had once loved, and he believed the version of the story she kept telling him. The first crack appeared on a Tuesday afternoon. Noah was at a gas station after his delivery shift, trying to buy a sandwich and a bottle of water. His card was declined. Not the joint account card, his personal debit card tied to the smaller checking account he kept for his own essentials. He checked his phone and saw the balance, $11.43. That didn't make sense. He had deposited a $300 check from the hardware store just 5 days ago. He scrolled through the transactions and found a transfer he didn't remember authorizing. $270 moved to the joint account. Madison still had access to his personal banking through the shared credentials he had never updated, and she had moved the money without telling him. Then he looked at the joint account. There were charges he had never seen before, a spa service for $185, a restaurant bill for $212, a clothing purchase for $349. None of it looked like debt repayment. None of it looked like survival. Noah stared at the screen for a long time, standing in the gas station parking lot with his work boots untied and his back aching from 6 hours of lifting. He wanted to call Madison right then. He wanted to ask her what a $349 clothing purchase had to do with paying off credit card debt. But he didn't call. Instead, he drove to his next job and spent the rest of the afternoon scrubbing tile floors while the numbers repeated in his head like a song he couldn't turn off. When he finally brought it up 2 days later, Madison handled it the way she always did. Noah mentioned the charges carefully, almost apologetically, as if he were the one doing something wrong by looking. Madison's voice shifted immediately. "You're really going to nickel and dime me right now," she said. "After everything I've been through." Noah tried to explain that he wasn't accusing her of anything, he just wanted to understand where the money was going. Madison cut him off. "You promised, Noah. You looked me in the eye and said you'd help me get through this, and now you're checking receipts like I'm some kind of thief." She told him the spa visit was for a medical-related treatment. She said the restaurant was a work dinner she had to attend. She explained the clothing purchase is something she needed for job interviews. Every answer came fast, polished, and wrapped in just enough emotion to make Noah feel guilty for asking. By the end of the call, he was the one apologizing. That pattern repeated itself 3 more times over the next several weeks. Each time Noah noticed something strange, an unusually large withdrawal, a charge at a store that didn't match any kind of necessity, Madison had an answer ready. And each answer came with a reminder, "You promised." Those 2 words had become a leash. Noah had said them once in a moment of genuine compassion, and now they were being used to shut down every question he tried to ask. He started to feel like a machine, earning, transferring, with no right to ask where the fuel was going. The night everything shifted was the night Noah heard Madison's voice through the lounge door. He had just finished his 5th shift at the fitness center. His route home took him past a row of upscale spots. He never entered cocktail bars, wine lounges, places where people spent in one evening what Noah earned in a week. He wouldn't have stopped at all if he hadn't heard her laugh. It was a sound he knew well, sharp and confident, the kind of laugh Madison used when she was performing for an audience. Noah slowed down. The lounge had a side window partially open, and through it, he could hear her voice clearly. She was talking to a group of friends, and she was talking about him. "He still thinks it's about the debt," Madison said, and the table erupted in laughter. "I told him 6 months ago we were almost done, and he believed it. He believes everything." Someone asked how she managed it, and Madison answered without hesitation. "You just have to know what to say. A little guilt, a little gratitude, maybe cry once in a while. He works 5 jobs. 5. And he never checks anything because he's too exhausted to think straight." The laughter came again. Then someone called Noah, a name that Noah didn't fully catch. But Madison's response came through the window like a blade. "Honestly, he's basically my personal slave. And the best part is he thinks he's being a good man." Noah stood on the sidewalk with his cleaning uniform still damp and the smell of bleach on his hands. His chest tightened, his jaw locked. Every instinct told him to walk through that door, slam his hands on the table, and demand an explanation. But something deeper, something colder, held him in place. If he walked in now, Madison would flip the story. She would cry. She would tell her friends he was unstable, aggressive, bitter about the divorce. She would make him the villain before he could say a single word. Noah knew this because he had watched her do it before, to other people in other situations. Madison didn't lose arguments. She rewrote them. So Noah made a different choice. He didn't go inside. He didn't call her. He didn't send a message full of anger or pain. He walked back to his apartment, sat at the small table in his kitchen, and opened his laptop. For the first time in over a year, he pulled up every bank statement, every transfer record, every text message Madison had sent requesting money. He laid it all out like evidence because that's exactly what it was. He wasn't going to yell. He wasn't going to beg. He was going to do something Madison never expected from the man she called a slave. He was going to audit every dollar, every excuse, and every lie. and when he had the full picture, he was going to shut every door she had been walking through. That night, Noah didn't sleep because of exhaustion. He didn't sleep because of anger. He didn't sleep because for the first time in 2 years, his mind was fully awake.